sponsored by Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. Open year-round to service your tax needs.
Good afternoon. I'm your local weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. Skies partly to mostly cloudy. We'll get some clouds decreasing, only to return again later tonight. It's 15 degrees in Peoria. Nice view on the Peoria siding and window sky cam. Temps are in the teens. However, the wind chill, that's a different story. That's below zero throughout much of central Illinois. In fact, it feels more like 5 below in Bloomington. Through the rest of this evening, negative wind chills, skies clearing out for at least a few hours tonight with more clouds rolling in late, maybe even a few passing flurries. More chances of snow on the horizon. We'll have your full forecast coming up. WMBD News at 4 starts now.
Today on the show, Democrats may have gathered enough Republicans to fight against the president's national emergency. How many GOP lawmakers are walking across the aisle? Plus, one step at a time, while Pritzker continues his push for sports betting in Illinois, lawmakers still have things to do before that happens. The law that is standing in Pritzker's way. And in the midst of tax season, what you can do to get the most out of your refund. And thanks for watching. I'm Eugene Daniel. Democrats in the House Judiciary Committee are expanding their investigations into President Trump. As Nicole Killian reports, they're issuing requests for documents to more than 70 individuals and organizations.
During a White House event with the North Dakota State football team, President Trump blamed politics for the House Judiciary Committee's sweeping new investigation.
I cooperate all the time with everybody. It's a political hoax. There's no collusion.
Monday, House Judiciary Chairman Jerrold Nadler said his committee sent letters to 81 people and entities, including the White House, requesting documents to investigate possible obstruction of justice, corruption, and abuse of power. The committee's Republican ranking member Doug Collins accused Democrats of jumping to conclusions. After recklessly prejudging the president for obstruction, Chairman Nadler is pursuing evidence to back up his conclusion because, as he admits, we don't have the facts yet. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi defended the committee's move at an event in Texas.
Our founders, in their wisdom, had a separation of powers to do anything delinquent in our duties.
Officials in the White House counsel's office say they have received the letter from the committee and are going through the request right now in an effort to accommodate as much as they can. The ramp up from the Judiciary Committee comes as other Democratic-led House committees are pursuing investigations into President Trump. The chairman of the House Intelligence, Foreign Affairs, and Oversight Committees have sent letters to the White House and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo requesting documents related to the president's conversations with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Democrats appear to have swayed enough Republicans to overrule President Trump's emergency declaration to fund the Mexican border. Several Republicans say they support the president's decision, but Senator Rand Paul says he can't. Senator Paul indicated that although he usually supports the president, he does not support the president's use of the emergency declaration to bypass Congress. And other Republicans say while they may not have declared a national emergency if they were in the president's shoes, they support funding the wall.
Using a declaration of emergency is not my preferred option, but my preferred option would have been for Congress to do its job.
Paul is expected to join Senate Democrats and at least 3 other Republicans to block President Trump's emergency order. The Senate should vote on the issue next month. An Illinois lawmaker is hoping to define what should be taught in sexual education classes. The bill defines consent as freely given agreement to sexual activity. It directs schools to use the definition when discussing consent, since current state law doesn't offer a specific definition. The bill also explains that a way a person is dressed never implies consent, and that consent in past sexual activity doesn't mean consent in a future moment. Democrat Ann Williams says she's proposing the plan because she sees a lack of discussion in schools when it comes to consent and what sexual assault is. Well, Governor J.B. Pritzker says legalizing sports betting could bring in millions, but Lauren Langer reports lawmakers must first legalize something else to pave the way. Lauren.
Eugene, in order for Pritzker to get his wish, lawmakers have to legalize expanded wagering. Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court ended Nevada's monopoly on state-sanctioned sports betting. Illinois is one of about a dozen states where lawmakers are considering legislation to legalize sports gambling. Illinois lawmakers have made multiple attempts to expand gambling in the past decade, but so far, no dice. The Illinois Casino Gaming Association is interested in seeing sports betting legalized if its members can get in on the industry. Governor Pritzker says if lawmakers can get that and sports gambling passed, the state could count on an additional $200 million in revenue. He says he wants to create 20 licenses for sports betting businesses, which would cost $10 million each, charging an additional $5,000 fee each year. Eugene.
Interesting stuff there, Lauren. Well, the Illinois Department of Human Services today launched a new platform to help people recover from gambling addiction. WeKnowTheFeeling.org expands access to treatment and recovery resources, and people can go on the site and also speak with a counselor online. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Creators say the gaming industry is expanding at unprecedented rates, and more than 2% of Illinoisans have a gambling problem. They say they hope to end the stigma and shame for those with gambling disorders. A Peoria man faces charges tonight after officers say they found guns in his home. Troopers with the Peoria Area Multi-County Narcotics Enforcement Group served a warrant at a home on University near Gale Avenue. During the search, agents found 2 guns and ammunition. Officials say the serial numbers were removed from the weapons, and D. Ray Jones faces 2 counts of possession of a firearm by a felon. The case of an Alabama woman who left the U.S. in 2014, married an ISIS fighter, and publicly supported the ISIS cause goes to federal court in Washington today. HODA MUTHANA'S family is suing the federal government to allow their daughter back into the U.S., and the State Department maintains that MUTHANA, now 24 years old with an 18-month-old child, is not a U.S. citizen, even though she was born in the country. Officials say her father was a diplomat, and children born in the U.S. to diplomats are not automatically U.S. citizens. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the MUTHANA should not be allowed to be an American citizen.
People have been telling me they've seen my case on TV, and everyone asks me, what are you going to do now? Where are you going to go next? I know I am an American citizen, and I know I have the right to come back. I have no other citizenship anywhere.
Now, MUTHANA says she now regrets her support of ISIS and wants to come home to face the American justice system. Prominent Republicans say that she should not be allowed to keep her citizenship because of her contribution to ISIS fighters. Well, tax refunds are on the way, and experts are weighing in on how you should use that money. Treasurer Roberts spoke with some and joins us now with why one option may entice you. Treasurer.
Eugene, if you are fortunate enough to receive a tax refund this year, spend it wisely. Some may want to go straight to the mall after receiving their refund, but financial advisor Daryl Daggett provided other ways to get a bang for your buck. If you can get rid of your credit card debt, begin putting money away into a college fund, and add it to a savings account for emergencies. Once you take care of your responsibilities, you can use it to have some fun.
If you missed the January commitment of getting out and getting to the gym, great time. Use it to buy your, your annual membership for the gym. Take a little vacation, reward yourself a little bit, have fun. You've got to relax and enjoy life too.
Daryl is right. Everyone deserves a bit of rest and relaxation. I may just put my refund towards my next vacation. Eugene.
We'll see about that, Treasurer. Thanks for that. A beef company is recalling 30,000 pounds of meat, which was shipped across the country. Washington Beef issued the recall over the weekend after a customer found a contaminant in the meat. The company is not revealing what kind of material was found in the product. The beef affected was produced on December 27th with a freeze-by date of January 20th. All right, well, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates will join us just a bit to talk about those temperatures you should be expecting throughout the rest of the week. Your forecast is up next.
MUTHANA News, Central Illinois proud, with Eugene Daniel and Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local Weather Authority forecast. This is WMBD News at 4. Closed captioning on WMBD, sponsored by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac.
Coach, it's kind of hard to see the ball.
I've been there. I had a TV service with hardly